Hi, I am Premanand from the Department of Naval Architecture and Offshore Engineering from Amat University. I have 7 years of experience in teaching ship design and ship construction. Today we are going to talk about welding in shipbuilding. For joining ferrous and non-ferrous metals, we use different types of methods. For example, welding, riveting, brassing, soldering are the different methods of joining we are using. In shipbuilding, we are using the major common method is riveting and welding. Before 19th century, we were using riveting method where we use overlap of plates and we use the rivets to join two metal plates. But after 19th century, we started using welding, which is the predominant in nowadays. In riveting, the plates were overlapped where the rivets were inserted in between the plates by drilling a hole. This is a more time consuming process and it will take more number of man hours. We were using the rivets before 19th century. After that, we moved on to welding. Welding, we have two methods. In welding process, we join either similar metal or else dissimilar metal by use of heat or pressure as a source. There are different types of weldings are there. Before seeing that, we will compare riveting and welding process. In riveting, in welding we do not require any connecting components such as gusset plates or etc. similar to riveting, so that we can reduce the weight of the plate. For doing welding, we require only one face. In case of riveting, at least we require two plates and two faces and clearance between the weld plates, so that you can do a riveting process. But in case of welding, only one face is sufficient, so that you can able to do weld which is of any different shapes. And when you need to add or when you need to alter a weld plate, it is very easy comparing to rivets. But in case of riveting, we need to completely remove the rivet and you have to do the alteration or addition. So for bending, for making this holes and for alignment, it takes too much time and more number of man hours. That is how it is increasing more time and it will increase the cost of building also. In case of welding, there is no need of making any holes as well as very less time consuming for making the alignment. Thus, it reduces the time for joining of materials. The next thing is when you do inspection, comparing to riveting, welding inspection will be tough and it is consuming more time. For this, you require a skilled labor. So this is the one of the most disadvantage of our welding. The next is like thermal expansion in our welding is more, especially in the weld area. To avoid this thermal expansion, lot of procedures we have to follow. Once we follow the procedures to reduce the thermal expansion and stress over that particular area, welding is also an advantage method for joining, especially in shipbuilding. In welding, the major classification is solid state welding and fusion welding. When you see the solid state welding, further it is classified into plastic or pressure welding and cold welding. Here the source of joining is heat and also pressure. When you see this plastic or pressure welding, where you are heating the metal plate till it reaches the plastic stage, after that you are applying a huge pressure over that metal so that the joining can be done. In case of cold welding, there is no need of heat at all, only pressure is used to join the two metal plates. Here ductile materials like aluminum, non-ferrous metal generally we use to join the using the cold welding type. As I told you, in shipbuilding, fusion welding is the most predominant method of joining we are using. In this method, you are heating the base plate till it reaches a molten stage. After that, by adding or not adding a filler metal, you can able to join two metal plates. Further, the fusion welding is classified into gas welding, manual metal arc welding, or sometimes we call it as stick welding, then submerged arc welding, MIG welding, metal inert gas welding, then TIG welding, tungsten inert gas welding. These are the different types of welding we are using in our shipbuilding scenario. The first method what we are going to see is gas welding. In this, the heat source is created by gas. Generally two types of gas we are using, one is oxygen, another is acetylene. By varying the combination of these gases, we can able to produce three different types of flames. The first flame is oxidizer, the second flame is neutral flame, and third is carburizing flame. These are the three different types of flame we can able to produce by varying the percentage of gases what we are using in our gas welding. So when you use a oxidizer flame, you can able to weld some alloys, aluminum alloys, steel alloys, this kind of materials we can able to weld using the carburizer flame. But using oxidizer flame, you can able to weld something like brasses, bronze, copper. These are the types of metals where you can able to weld using the oxidizer flame. And using neutral flame, especially shipbuilding materials what we can able to do, which is mild steel, iron. These are the types of metals we can use for this neutral type of flames. And also we use a filler rod for joining the metals. And also this type of gas welding is used only for thin plates. The next type of welding what we are going to see is manual metal arc welding. Generally we call it as a stick welding because of only we are using a single piece of electrode which is also coated by a chemical. So this manual metal arc welding is a flexible method of welding what we use in our shipbuilding, and it is completely manual, where the feeding of electrode as well as the movement of electrode, everything is completely manual. So it is flexible, and also it is one of the best method of welding in our shipbuilding. And thus welding current range for this manual metal arc welding is from 250 amperes, and the electrode diameter what we are using is 2 mm to 3.1 mm. This is the maximum diameter what we are using for our manual metal arc welding, and it has a flux coat over the electrode which helps to prevent the welding bead from its from contamination. The next type of welding what we are going to say is submerged arc welding. The meaning submerged arc welding is not like you are doing underwater welding. The meaning of submerged arc welding is the arc is completely submerged into the flux. That is the meaning of submerged arc welding. So this submerged arc welding is fully automatic, where the movement of electrode, feeding of electrode, everything is automatic. And also in this submerged arc welding, comparing to manual metal arc welding, a continuous coil feed of wire will be supplied to the welding zone, so that you can able to continuously weld for a lengthy plates. The next thing is, since it is a completely automatic, you can able to maintain a constant speed as well as a good deposition of weld over the welding area. And preferable method of welding for this submerged arc welding is down and welding, and it supports down and welding is 1G welding we prefer for this submerged arc welding. And the electrode diameter what we are using for the submerged arc welding is range from 3.1 mm to 6 mm, since because the diameter of the electrode is higher comparing to submerged arc welding, MIG welding and TIG welding, you can able to deposit more amount of electrode into the weld zone, hence it is able to penetrate a larger spaces. That is what the main advantage of submerged arc welding. And using the submerged arc welding, since it is a automatic type of welding, you can able to weld multiple passes in a single slot itself, which means you can able to weld continuously with different electrodes of same plates. This is the main advantage of submerged arc welding. From the first picture you can able to understand a continuous feed of wire feed, a continuous feed of electrode feed. Electrode feed is given to the welder. You can see from the transformer a coil of electrodes are attached to the transformer, which is only supplied to your torch. In next picture you can able to see a continuous supply of flux which is submerging the arc. That is why we call it as submerged arc welding. Through this blue color tube, we can able to supply the granules of flux, and thus in between center is what your electrode what we are using for submerged arc welding. The primary purpose of flux is to prevent the weld bead from atmospheric contamination, and also the chemical composition of the chemical composition of the flux which is present over the electrode will also help the following, like arc stability. The amount of heat generation will be directly controlled by this arc stabilization. Then depth of penetration, how much depth it is penetrating, that is also decided by the amount of chemical composition what we are using over the flux. Then metal deposition rate, how fast it is depositing the electrode inside the weld bead. Then positional welding capacity, at what position you can able to use this electrode. These are the various factors this flux is influencing directly. For example, different welding position like 1G, 2G, 3G, some welding electrodes will support only 1G type of welding, and some other electrode types can able to support more than 2, 3, 4, 5Gs. So this flux directly influencing the metal deposition and penetration of the weld bead inside the inside the plate. The next welding type what we are going to see is metal inert gas welding. By the name itself we can able to understand we are using a inert gas such as argon, carbon dioxide, or the different types of inert gas we are using to shield the weld bead from contamination, environmental contamination. And also this metal inert gas welding is a semi-automatic process where the electrode feeding is completely automatic, but the movement and travel of electrode is manual. And also the amount of current what we are supplying for this metal inert gas is about 300 amperes, and also the filler or the electrode rod diameter is about 0.8 to 2 mm. These are the metal inert gas properties. The next type of welding what we are going to say is tungsten inert gas welding. By the name itself we can understand we are using a tungsten electrode comparing to MIG welding, SAW welding, or manual metal arc welding. In this type of welding we are using a tungsten electrode where the electrode can able to sustain a temperature till 300 degrees Celsius. So the base metal will be melted, but the electrode will be just heated up. So generally we call this tungsten inert gas method electrode as a non-consumable electrode. This tungsten inert gas welding is also a completely automatic method where you can able to weld different types of metals, not even only mild steel, you can able to weld aluminum also, brass also, different types of similar and dissimilar metals you can able to weld. And you can able to use inert gas like helium, argon, and carbon dioxide also, but this method is comparatively very expensive compared to MIG, SAW welding, and different type of welding. But only advantage what we are having in this metal welding type is it is completely portable. So when you compare all these types of welding like metal inert gas welding or tungsten inert gas welding, submerged arc welding, manual metal arc welding, when you compare this, the best method what we can suggest is submerged arc welding is the best method what we can use for a downhand welding. When you try to compare metal stick welding, that is manual metal arc welding, with submerged arc welding, in manual metal arc welding we are using a single piece of electrode coated with the flux, but in case of submerged arc welding we are giving a continuous supply of wire feed, which is also again having a chemical coat over the top layer of the electrode. In both the cases current helps to melt the electrode, but the base metal is getting heated up, so that electrode will be melted and deposited over the base metal. This is what the procedure we are doing in both stick welding and SAW welding. When you compare this MIG welding and TIG welding, in MIG welding and TIG welding, in both the cases we are using a inert gas which is of carbon or helium or argon, any type of gas we are using, but in MIG welding we are using a consumable electrode, but in TIG welding we are using a non-consumable electrode. These are the main difference you have to see in these different types of welding. Now we are going to see about the welding positions. There are different types of welding positions we are using. 1G, which is a downhand welding position where you are holding your electrode towards the ground, which means you are holding, consider this as the electrode, this is you are holding the electrode towards the ground. This is what your 1G type of welding. Next is 2G type of welding. In this welding you can see you are holding your electrode over the wall, which is vertically. which means you are facing it directly over the wall. This is what your 2G welding. Then 3G welding, same over the wall, but you can able to weld from down to up and up to down, uphill and downhill. These are the two methods of 3G welding you can able to do. The next type of welding is 4G. Next type of position, next type of position is 4G. In this 4G, you are holding the electrode above your head, overhead welding. That is what we call it as 4G welding. Next is 5G. In 5G, we are not using plates. Here you are using a cylindrical pipes. If you keep a pipe in a horizontal plane and if you try to weld it, then we call it as 5G. Then next is 6G. When you keep the same pipe but in an angular form, then we call it as 6G welding. In this 5G and 6G also two methods are there, where you are fixing the pipe and the weld electrode will be rotating around the revolve around the pipe. The next method is your electrode is fixed and over that your pipe will be rotating. So, two methods are there for your 5G and 6G. So, these are the welding positions what we are using in our shipbuilding. Next, what we are going to see is welding joints. There are different types of welding joints, but the most used welding joints in our shipbuilding are butt joint, then lap joint, T-joint, corner joint and edge joint. These are the different types of joint we are using in our shipbuilding. A butt joint is a joint where you are side to side welding when you try to do, that is what your butt joint. Lap joint is overlapping one another, that you call it as lap joint. And third thing is T, which means if you are keeping a plate perpendicular to each other, that you call it as T joint, and only the corners, if it is welded, that you call it as corner and edge joint. These are the different types of joints what we are using in our shipbuilding. At last, what we are going to see is about welding precautions. You take any type of welding, you have to maintain a precaution. It can be a gas welding, MIG welding, TIG welding, any type of welding, but you have to take a proper welding precaution of that particular welding type. If you take a gas welding, when you do a gas welding, you will be having a oxygen and acetylene cylinders. So, you should not keep both the gases to next to next, that will be also a problem. Then you have to keep away the combustible materials from the welding area, so that you can able to avoid a fire hazard. When you are using when you start doing a welding, then you should make sure that proper fire extinguisher or type approved fire extinguisher is available near to your area. The next precaution what you are going to see is face shield. Either you have to wear a glass goggle or else you have to wear a shield, so that you can get avoided from the weld arcs, weld sparks, and you should wear a closed toe shoes, so that you can able to get away from the sudden shocks and impacts. And you have to wear a ear protection, so that the spark should not enter into your ears. So, as of now we have seen different types of welding. Now we are going to see different types of welding defects. Welding defects such as incomplete penetration, incomplete fusion, undercutting, porosity, spatter and cracks are the different types of welding defects we are going to see today. The first defect what we are going to see is incomplete penetration. In this incomplete penetration, when you try to join both the base metals, where it is your filler rod is not directly penetrated till the bottom of your base plate, so that there will be a gap. This kind of defects we call it as incomplete penetration. When you try to load incomplete penetrated weld bead, then it will result in a crack. This is called as incomplete penetration. The next defect what we are going to say is incomplete fusion. In this incomplete fusion, where your base metal will get heated up and your electrode will get melted and it will get penetrated till the bottom, but the joining, that bonding is not happened, that is what we call it as incomplete fusion. The incomplete fusion, the main cause is improper weld angle or else improper selection of electrode will result in a incomplete fusion and incomplete penetration. Next is undercutting defect. The main reason of this undercutting defect is maybe using a high current, also too much of overlapping the weld pass will result in undercutting. The meaning of undercutting is simply burning away your base metal, that's we call it as undercutting. Next is slag inclusion. Slag inclusion is an important defect by doing submerged arc welding or manual metal arc welding. These kind of defects we can able to face. Slag inclusion is nothing but by accidentally the flux is getting incorporated inside the weld bead, that we call it as slag inclusion. Porosity. Porosity is a group of holes where you can see all over the weld bit. The main reason of this porosity is when you do weld, the gases like hydrogen or other gases has to be released from the molten puddle, but instead it is trapped inside the molten pool, and when it tries to come out of the molten pool after it solidifies will create a hole, and this type of pores we call it as porosity. Next is distortion. When you can't able to control the expandation of your base metal, or your contraction of a base metal will result in an ugly form, that you call it as distortion. This distortion you can able to control by using a tack welding, which is a discontinuous temporary welding. Using that you can able to control the distortion. And also another method is using a clamps. By holding both the sides you can able to control the distortion. The next welding defect is spatter. When you do weld, because of high amperage or high weld current, there is a possibility of spillage of your molten electrode over the sides of your weld plate, that you call it as spatter. This spatter can be removed by using chipping methods, or as well as using anti-spatter compounds. You can able to remove this spatter. So, as of now we discussed about different types of weldings, that is we discussed about gas welding, where we are using different types of gas. In that method, where your base metal is getting heated and you are using a filler rod, so that you can able to do a welding. Next method what we have saw is a manual metal arc welding. In that method we are using a single piece of electrode which is coated with a flux. That is the easiest and completely manual method we were using. Next method what we have saw is about submerged arc welding. The meaning itself you can understand, the arc is completely submerged and this is completely automatic. The main advantage of this submerged arc welding, where you can able to do a multiple pass in a single with a single plate. That is what the main advantage of this submerged arc welding. Next welding is metal inert gas welding. In this metal inert gas welding, we don't use any flux for the electrode what we are supplying. Instead we are supplying a inert gas. It may be argon or it may be a carbon dioxide. Generally we use for this to avoid the contamination of the weld bead. The next method what we have saw is about tungsten inert gas welding. In this tungsten inert gas welding, we are not using a electrode type what we have saw in submerged arc welding or MIG welding. Here we are using a tungsten electrode which is a non-combustible, where it can get heated up to 300 degrees Celsius. By that the base metal is getting melted. So, this is the main advantage of tungsten inert gas. These are the different types of welding types we have saw. After that we have discussed about various metal welding defects. In that we have saw about incomplete penetration, incomplete fusion, distortion, undercutting, then spatter, porosity, welding cracks. These are the welding defects we have saw. To avoid this welding defects, we have to use the different types of NDT methods. The next class we will see about the expansion of this NDT methods. Thank you.